You're killing an animal when it's in its prime. You know, a cow, for example, naturally lives for 20 years. At 4 years, once a dairy cow has been milked dry, she's sent to the abattoir to have a bolt gone through the head and have her throat slashed. It can never be ethical, it can never be humane. Animal Liberation Malta is an animal rights movement who advocate veganism and basically educate and inform people of what's happening to animals all around the world, the ways they're being exploited and abused. I mean, there are many similarities between humans and animals. I'm not saying that they're exactly the same, but there are more similarities than people think there are. And I think when it comes to a life, yeah, they're equal. I think now we have more choices. I think back then it was a matter of survival, and even hunter-gatherers, their staple diet was nuts, and you know, I think they only killed animals in winter when there wasn't a food source, so it was a matter of survival. But nowadays we don't need animals to be happy and healthy. So we just exploit them to make money, which I think is unethical. To help people make the connection, I think when people see the animals before they go into slaughter, it makes them think more about their food choices. So, you know, those animals on that truck have personalities. Some are shy, some come up to you and lick your hand, you know, some have blue eyes, some have brown eyes. It's helping people to make that connection and see animals as individuals. And we just want to raise awareness. And many people have actually contacted us telling us because of those vigils that we've been doing, they've stopped eating meat. So they have been effective. In our view, there is no humane way to slaughter someone who doesn't want to die. It's the greatest oxymoron. If you look at the definition of humane, it means kindness, it means respect. If you look at slaughter, it's killing, it's murder. So the two cannot possibly go together. Well, first of all, we do have a lot of people who support us who are Maltese. And then of course we do have, you know, the people who are not happy that we're here trying to change culture, tradition. So we have had a mixed reaction.
We have a public, no.
Okay, here is public. I take photos from here. So
No!
you have something to hide? This is your business. What do you have to hide? Guilty conscience.
But I would say that on the whole, it has been positive. I think people are finally waking up to the truth and realizing, even in Malta, there is so much cruelty and abuse. We cannot be pointing the finger at other countries anymore. It's happening on our doorstep, and it's about making people realize that. I do think that Malta has a long way to go. I think that animals do lack basic fundamental rights in Malta. For example, the Maltese are the largest consumers of rabbit meat in Europe, and the way that rabbits are reared here is appalling. You know, they're in tiny cages, wire cages, all crammed together, and at 3 months they have their necks snapped and their throats slit. That's the way that they're killed. And I think the Maltese consume 530,000 rabbits per year. So it's a lot. And of course the bird hunting, the bird trapping. We visited dairy farms here that are just, I mean, dairy farms are bad all over the world. I'm not just saying that Malta's, you know, to blame, but yeah, there are many ways in which this island can improve. I think there are humane ways to get rid of pests, and that doesn't involve killing. Yeah, so for example, citronella is a great way to deter mosquitoes and bugs from, you know, kind of getting in, and cockroaches and things like that. So I think there are ways that you can deal with pests that doesn't involve killing. I would say that It's very rare that people actually have mice in their homes. I mean, I've never had mice in my homes. I don't know about you, but it doesn't seem to be like this common problem that people are finding difficult to deal with. And I think if I did have a mouse, I would use a trap that would trap it without killing it, and then I would release it. To me, there's no difference between a crocodile burger and a beef burger. You know, it's still an animal that was slaughtered against its will. So, and this is the point when we look at cats and dogs. You know, at the moment in China, it's the Yulin Dog Festival, where they're killing around 15,000 dogs in a matter of 10 days, and people are outraged. You know, we're going to these vigils and seeing these beautiful sentient beings on their way to being gassed, and nobody's batting an eyelid, you know, yet they're outraged with the Chinese for killing dogs. What is the difference between a pig and a dog, you know? It's all cultural, and it's all about our perception. So I'm sure if I put you out in the jungle and left you to fend for yourself, you probably wouldn't last long. We're not actually carnivores. We don't have carnivorous instincts. We don't look at a chicken and get hungry and salivate, you know. It's only once a chicken has been slaughtered without us seeing, cut into pieces and cooked and had spices put on it, that we would want to eat it. And I think in terms of our anatomy, we are 100% herbivorous. Yeah, like the way we chew, it's from side to side. We don't rip and swallow like carnivores do. If you look at our intestines, we have very long intestines compared to carnivores that have short intestines, so they digest the meat much more quickly. And it has been proven, many studies have proven, that a vegan diet or a plant-based diet is the optimum diet. You know, heart disease, diabetes, certain types of cancer are much, much lower when people eliminate animal products from their diet. Being vegan isn't expensive. I think it's one of the greatest myths there is. You know, pasta isn't expensive, beans and rice isn't expensive, potatoes aren't expensive, you know, like you can be vegan and not have to spend a lot. I mean, if you want to buy organic produce, then yeah, maybe it will be more costly. There's no ethical way. It's killing. You're killing an animal when it's in its prime. You know, a cow, for example, naturally lives for 20 years. At 4 years, once a dairy cow has been milked dry, she's sent to the abattoir to have a bolt gone through the head and have her throat slashed. It can never be ethical, it can never be humane. If you don't want the treatment, this kind of treatment upon you, then don't pay for it to happen to others. I mean, these sayings go back a long time. You know, we've been using these sayings for a while. And I have to say, when I use like expressions like to kill two birds with one stone, I always feel a bit bad when I say that. So I think it's quite nice that PETA have come up with these alternatives. But I think it's quite humorous, isn't it? I mean, I find it funny. I don't think people should get upset or offended by it. There are far more things to be upset by than a bunch of sayings that PETA have adapted to become more animal friendly. With speciesism, you're basically categorizing different groups. So you're saying these are companion animals, these are food animals, these are wild animals. You're basically putting animals in groups depending on your culture and your preference. I think if speciesism was eradicated, the world would be a much better place, just giving respect and showing kindness to all species, you know, to other humans, as well as all other non-human animals. Well, I mean, I wouldn't slaughter any. And I think that's the point with veganism. It's like, we have a choice. We don't have to kill to thrive. You know, it's not a matter of survival. So why would you kill anybody in any situation? I mean, unless it is a matter of survival, which most of us aren't in this part of the world. So it's because of humans that animals have been domesticated and that we're now in this situation. I mean, millions of animals are euthanized at shelters every year because they cannot find homes. And you know, it's people breeding them, and it's just got out of control. So I think from the animal's point of view, if they had to choose between being stuck in a shelter and possibly being euthanized because nobody wanted to adopt them, or a family taking them and offering them a loving home, then I think I know which one they would choose.